Hello, hello. Welcome to today's messages. My hair is fluffy. Okay, let's tune in to the frequencies of the earth. 432 hertz. Look it up. Yeah, it's weird. Someone just decreed in the 1800s, let's just tune everything to 440 instead. Ever tune into a radio station? Those, 8 off hertz is like static compared to clarity. So, adjustments, tuning. Tune into your. I got a couple of tiny little moss bits on a piece of rock that I found. So I just give it a moss sponge water every once in a while. Trying to keep it alive. Oops, I picked some up. Okay, thanks for being here. Nice to see you. Though I cannot see you, but I can feel you. And you feel gorgeous. So, thank you for being here. Let's see what comes up for us today. What do the Arcturians have to say to us? Anything? Anything at all? Let us see, let us see, let us see, oh, let us see. What do the Arcturians want us to see? Okay, that one and that one. Okay. The ones I always forget. Okay. This one is, what is it? That one is time shift and surrender. Ooh, powerful. Surrender to the time shift that is happening. Okay, look at this swirling energy. So this is beautiful because what came across my path today was this idea of sacred momentum. And this is all of the behind the scenes restructuring, building of things that happen beneath the surface. The lining up of the timelines and shifting the cooperative components, reorganizing. It is the undercurrent that builds the foundation for the reality to emerge upon or pop into being, right? So when you are feeling the shift but not seeing it, what you're feeling is the internal structures forming. And that is a necessary part of the process. So you don't want to rush it, right? And you also don't want to counteract it by disbelief, because our power is in our belief, our thoughts, our knowing. And this is why the blind faith is a thing, right? This is that internal structure behind the scenes, the roots forming under the surface, right? It's like something that isn't producing a lot of action above the surface. It's really rooting in underneath the surface. And once that is established and sturdy and strong, then all of a sudden above the surface starts to manifest, to take shape, and it's long lasting because the time was allowed for the under the surface structuring. Yeah, something like that. Something like that, but like way more better when I read it. Way more better than I read it when I read it. But, I retain the concepts of things, not necessarily the I'm not a very good reiterator. Okay. I am a good reiterator. I take it back. What do we got? What fell on the ground? Just one? Okay. Beautiful. So Thehu landed face up, and Degas landed on the ground. And so, for those who don't know, anything that falls on the floor is like a highlighted, pay extra attention to this, from the universe, from spirit. And so this transformation, beautiful. Trust the process, trust the transformation, right? The caterpillar doesn't spend its time from moving from, like, emerging out of the chrysalis as it's waiting, as its wings come in. It's never doubting in its ability to fly. Well, we don't know what's going on in the butterfly's mind, actually. Who knows what it's going through? Maybe it is. Maybe that's why it takes so long, because it's got to get its brain wrapped around all of the things and start feeling the evidence, right? Like, what are these things on my back? And the unfurling, and then the flapping, and then, oh, I feel wind in them, and then, oh, I caught a little bit of wind. I think I might be able to fly. I might be able to fly. And then when they believe that they can, is when they do. Who knows, right? But I know that Fehu is holding aloft a golden acorn, like the mother lode of all stashed goods, found resources. Okay. Let's get their keywords. And I opened up on the horse, right? So this is like, I always think of hitting the ground running when it comes to the horse. They are so fast and powerful, right? Horsepower. I looked up the Bugatti, and it's like 0 to 450. I forget the stats now, but it was something ridiculous. Like, you're paying $10 million for a vehicle that can do light speed. Why? Where are you going that fast? Why are you going there why do you need to get there that fast? Like, are you going to the moon? What's going on, right? So but horsepower was my point. I'm like, why am I talking about Bugatti? Okay, teamwork. No, this is the horse. Trust, harmony, marriage, and loyalty, which is also beautiful, but that's not where we are. We are in Degas, the butterfly. Breakthrough, awakening, enlightenment, balance point, and transformation. I said port. So it's like where your ships come in, where your ships arrive, where you discover this is that breakthrough moment. I can fly, right? Okay, and then Thehu is wealth, luck, abundance, energy, fertility. Okay, beautiful. Indicates financial security, successful business, property, and asset negotiations. Hope, it's a sign of hope, plenty, success, and happiness. Okay, so this is what the shift is. This is the time shift that you are surrendering to the process of becoming, of being, of transformation. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, I have to keep an eye on the timer today because I got something in the oven. That I've never made before, so I don't know how it's gonna work out. That's the thing with recipes. I'm kind of like an intuitive baker and maker. But, you know, it's about adapting, right? So I always kind of do, well, not always. Sometimes I will look at a few different recipes and then create my own from it and then test that. But sometimes I will just follow a recipe and then make adjustments after, right? So this is one of those times I followed it and we'll see what happens. But it's a coffee cake with a cinnamon swirl in the center, which is more like just a layer, which is basically just cinnamon and sugar layer. And then streusel. If you know what a streusel is about, then you'd be excited too, because streusel's yummy. But it felt like a lot of streusel, like almost too much streusel. I don't know. Is there such thing? We will see. But anyways, it's like 55 minutes in the oven, depending on your oven. So I never know. Okay, well, here we are, Queen of Wands. Being authentic, standing in your beingness, sitting in your beingness. Okay, going after what she wants, unabashedly. Unabashedly? What is that word? Confident, speaking truth, being authentic, being seen, right? So getting out in the world without masks or with fewer masks, or, you know, being authentically who you are, not shrinking yourself, not dulling your shine, not over giving, over compensating, none of the overing. In touch with the intuition, okay, and tapped into the sunflower power. I feel like this is the butterfly sitting after it's emerged from the cocoon, sitting on the branch, really settling in to its new form and feeling the wind current and trusting in all the signs and synchronicities that are confirming suspicions of the ability to fly, right? So, like intuition, finding evidence, like, say you are someone who recognizes patterns, okay? And you have looked out into the world and you have made some judgment calls, some intuitive knowings of this is what I think is happening because I've seen all of the little patterns and that's the picture it creates, right? But there hasn't been any evidence because you're ahead of your time. You've seen stuff before they're happening. And now those things are starting to confirm. And so this is a way that your own abilities are being confirmed, right? When, you know, however many years later, you've been saying a thing, and then now that thing is being confirmed. It's like, oh, okay, so maybe I do know, maybe I am, maybe I can, maybe it is, maybe, right? So this is that flapping the wings and, oh, I'm moving air around. I feel like I might be able to fly. It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that. Okay. What is falling out? Okay, protecting yourself from past influences, right? The Seven of Swords, I want to say, is like all the conflict, external conflicts that force someone into themselves, into like the shell of themselves, kind of thing, like the let's call it the chrysalis, right? From wanting to think like a caterpillar still when you have transformed into a butterfly. So to solidify, to maintain this internal structuring that is happening, you have to hold the frequency of transformation, something like that. Yes, because we've got the butterfly, right? And it's like these swords, these past wounds, whatever they may look like and wherever they may come from, creating a separation that pushes towards transformation. Right? When you're sick and tired of being slapped, poked, prodded, stuck on shelves, talked down to, belittled, gaslit, dismissed. Okay, so yes, the ships are coming in. The plant is growing. The roots are doing their thing, right? So I'm being called to consider this plant, right? This here. Not a lot of stuff is happening on the surface, right? But beneath the surface, we've got all these little root ball systems happening as it is reestablishing itself, right? And soon it will start to affect the rest of the plant. Something like that. Something like that. I need to put that into a pot. That is a purple passion plant, and it is still cuttings from a piece of plant that I got from my Oma, who has since passed. And that is a dead leaf. Okay. From the mother plant. It's a finicky plant. That's how I have continued its life. When the main plant gets too big or it starts to get weird, and then I snip a piece off and root it out and try again. But it's beautiful, right? It's beautiful. Okay. Oh, I can start to smell. Okay, we got passionate movement, which is gorgeous. This is it. This is the stuff that's going on. And that was the other thing. You may have heard or seen or experienced this snap, right? It's kind of like a few readings ago, I was talking about the thunder and the lightning. What we're talking about here, this internal restructuring, is kind of like the thunder, and we're waiting for the lightning. We're waiting for the visual. The thunder for me is more of like this underlying feeling, that rumble, right? That, oh, I hear something's happening, right? And then, we used to count 100, two, or was it one Mississippi, two Mississippi, whatever the count beat in between seconds is. And that's how you gauge how close the storm is, when the time in between the thunder and the lightning, which is not necessarily a detail we need. But anyways, this surrender to this time shift, what ends up happening is it's like lightning, like the tower, where you hear it and you don't know how far away it is, and then all of a sudden, bam, lightning, it's here, right? And so a lot of these big manifestations, they look like a stroke of luck or a tower moment, something coming in seemingly out of nowhere. But what is happening is that the internal structuring or restructuring, the time shifting that is happening on all the dimensions, first, before it appears in the third dimension. We are in a slow moving adventure, right? And so, dimension, adventure. Yes, we're in a slow moving adventure. And so trust this process. This is why you're surrendering. It's happening. Believe it, know it, feel it, and settle into that. Okay? When you hear the thunder, you know the lightning is coming, and you're not judging it or giving up on it. It takes as long as it takes, right? Okay. But this is saying it's going to come in fast and strong and powerful. And what is coming in fast and strong and powerful? Wow. Okay. So patience, preparedness, right? This knight is planning and prepared and ready for action, but not quite taking it, right? And then we have this Nine of Swords, which could be what is happening with this knight here. It's this finishing up, right? The swords, especially after that Seven of Swords came out. This is part of the transformation, the residualness. This is maybe the period where the caterpillar or the butterfly emerges, but its wings are so small still that it's not quite sure, like, am I still a caterpillar? Things feel different, but I don't know. I'm still crawling. I'm still on the ground, right? I still have some leftover caterpillar energy that I need to release and let go of. It's a 9. It's almost there, right? It's like, it's even, you are there, but it takes a minute, right? Things take a minute to adjust and readjust. And once this final stage, I'm also getting communication, because swords do speak about communication, and we've got passionate movement towards this Queen of Wands here that is connected to ships coming in, and this patience, like this wait for it, right? And so it's like some form of communication. I want to say like clearing up the air. So this could be maybe some sort of resolution with a person, place, or thing, an energy, a way of being, living, doing, seeing, right? All of the different levels. Excuse me. And that being like a closure. So tying up loose ends, closure period. Okay, but it's leading to the Ten of Cups. Okay, so this is a necessary process of all of the things. We just need to be patient while the last bits of it ground, take root, are released, fertilized, whatever, right? But this 10 of Cups is what it's leading to. This is the Fehu, right? Love, harmony, peace, success, prosperity, joy, gorgeousness. Gorgeousness. Okay, I'm just going to go check on my cake. 1 second. I'm back. And I wanted to show you the smallest thing I've ever made. Oops, I almost dropped him. He's a tiny box. Isn't he so cute? Oh my goodness. And he's magnetic, but I got nothing magnet in here. Or metal. Oh, there we go. Hee. Okay. Okay. So let's see if there's any more. Any other cards that want to come out here on this gorgeous thing we are surrendering for, surrendering to. The knowing that things are growing in our favor beneath the surface. Yes. Something flip. Wow. It's coming in fast. It's going to hit fast. It's coming fast. So don't rush it. Be in your now, because it is your beingness, in your confidence, in your authenticity, in your shining that is creating the energy, the wind that is bringing your ships in. Gorgeous. Okay, let's get astral card. Not all of the astral cards. Any? Ooh, love it. Imam Kuli. Koli? Kuli. Imam Kuli. Root. A 38. Imagine your spine extends down into the earth like a taproot, the strong central root under a tree, through the earth to a point on the sun's path below. Latin for bottom of the sky. The Imam Kuli, or the Ik, or is it IC? I don't know. Points to the memories, the IC. Ooh, I see. Nice. Points to the memories and experiences that fed your first roots, your early home life, your family traditions, and your biological and emotional heritage. Okay, because this is on the grounding root, Earth Star chakra. Sorry, the grounding stone. Petrified wood, yes. The patience as the residuals fall away, do their thing. Okay, action. Look at the roots. Think about what makes you feel at home and secure. What creates sanctuary for you? Investigate the foundations and become conscious of the traditions and assumptions that underlie this situation. Lean into habits that help you feel secure and grounded. If you enjoyed your childhood, family traditions can help you feel safe and strong in a storm. If you grew up in chaos, you may crave the opposite, and so you create your own quiet sanctuary. If you grew up with arguments, arguing with people at home may seem normal to you, but that may not be the case for your housemates. So you may need to learn to present your points in a more transformative, less combative way. This, I think, is talking about a list. The IC also speaks of deeper roots, the spiritual, religious, and philosophical underpinnings of your early life. Just as a fish doesn't notice the water it swims in, it can be hard to see the spiritual assumptions you swam within as a child. These philosophical underpinnings could give you a deep connection to spirit or leave you feeling restricted or judged, whether they imbued you with unconscious habits or were that from which you rebelled. Until you examine those deep roots, they will define your foundational paradigm. Wow. Speaking of restructuring. Okay. The challenge. Unconscious patterns from your personal history may underlie the situation and need excavation. There it is. Whoop. Those residuals, I'm telling you. Okay, the gift, though. Build roots of your own. Feel your spine extend like a deep taproot of a tree into the ground. Feel the strength of the earth pulsing up through you, holding you strong through any storm. Gorgeous. Gorgeous confirmation of this redefining, reestablishing, restructuring of your root system, of your foundation, so that all of the many blessings that rain upon you will contribute to sturdy abundance. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful abundance. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's get a mushroom card. A delicious mushroom card. Something yummy. Or inedible. Whatever it is, we need to know. It's the wrinkled peach mushroom. Okay, number 23. And it's inedible. Okay. This is a card that represents something so unique it is in its own class. This may represent you, someone you know, or something you are working on, something so stunning that you can't put it into a category. Unique can also be rare, and with rarity, there can also be obstacles. Just as the wrinkled peach mushroom has become scarce due to the lack of elm trees, so too could you become obsolete if your sustenance or support runs out. There's more foundational necessities. Being unique obviously has its plus side as well, because with rarity comes a need to protect it so it doesn't disappear. Unique minds and people are way showers and can change the world. They are sometimes outcast for not conforming or being the same as the rest of the crowd. But when their beauty or wisdom is seen, they become noticeable for all the right reasons. Being unique takes strength to stand on your own, to make your own path. Nope, not bend to peer pressure. Uniqueness is a strength, not a disability or weakness. Find what makes you unique. No, you stay over there. And stand fully in your power. The world doesn't need more vanilla. It needs more wayshowers and creativity to change how we see and do things. Uniqueness is a gift. Make sure you use it well. Bring what makes you into everything you do, and you will draw to you the people who resonate with that energy. That is your unique medicine. Hey, get out of here. Okay, confirmation of this Queen of Wands vibes. No, 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 no. She's like, okay, beautiful. And there's the boundaries, right? Just because they're cute and adorable and whatever, there's still a time and a place for them to be all up in your shizzle, right? So maintaining your sphere of comfort and dedication, process, attention, focus. Yes, all those things. Okay, I'm gonna do a couple of these love messages. We've got gifts coming in from the divine. You will start to see them more often, be seeing them already, and they will just compound, right? I feel like it's like the new green and the buds and the sprouts and the shoots that start to poke out of the ground as a confirmation that yes, indeed, the stuff underneath the surface has been happening, right? No, your heart knows the truth. Your heart knows the way. Your heart knows what's best for you. This is why it's important to feel it, know it, be it, see it, understand it, recognize it, and speak your truth, right? This is part of this authentically being in your power. Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, we had the analogy of the bird cage, your rib cage being like a bird cage, and your truth being like birds. And every time you do something because you feel like you should, because it's out of obligation, but it's not something that you really want to do, that you're suppressing your truth. And so you are caging this winged thing inside of you, and it gets restless, and so it's like anxieties and health issues, right? The more we stuff in there, it starts to get crowded. It's tumultuous. We want freedom, right? We want nothing caged within us. So speaking your truth, speak it to release it, burn it to release it. This is another way of burning it to release it, right? By speaking it, you are releasing it. Also, some of these residuals may need to be burnt, the physical act of transforming it, but also letting it go, right? When something is burned, it turns to ash and smoke. It's no longer something tangible that you can hold. It's gone. You have to let it go, okay? Switch up your usual route. This is part of this movement of the energy. This is a recognition of all little things, seemingly little shifts and changes that you make in your way of thinking, in your way of speaking, in your way of being, in your way of seeing, has an effect. And so keep that movement moving. Okay. More self-care needed. I don't think there's too much self-care right now. You are making up for lost time. You spent the majority of your life not caring enough for you, right? For everybody else, but not enough for you. So now it's time to feed the you beast. Oh my goodness. The last two is a wish coming true, and it's true love. Okay? In case you were wondering. If this doesn't look like true love, I don't know what love is. I want you to show me. Okay? Okay, let's do some charms. And recognize true love starts within, always. You have to, you gotta know what it is in order to recognize it. Okay, what do we got here? We got the sun and moon kitty. So this balance, which is nice between your balancing in your preparation, but also releasing, okay, and the grounding of that, and also this earth and sky, right? The balance of that being part of your foundation, your strength to endure anything, right? The stronger something, with what I was talking about with the taproot going down and it holding in storms. Whatever surface things hit, it's okay because it's got a solid grip on the earth, right? Okay. And everybody's all over in here, but look at all this magic over here. And look at this. Something's happening here with the mermaid and the spider. Interesting. This is also giving me that water and air, right? The spider lets out the web and floats on air currents to move around. I never considered the spider as air before. And then this mermaid, get off of there. I can't get it off. Oh, there we go. So this is the self-care. It's the rose quartz, the rose quartz heart in the middle of its body. And this is this, right? The attention to yourself. Okay. And then this mermaid, this is going with the flow. This is something about your song. I'm getting siren song. Beautiful, magical, powerful. This could represent all kinds of things. Okay, and then we got the fairy, right? Another magical air being. It's actually water, air, and then the spider could be earth or the linker in between, because the spider moves around. It's kind of like creating the webs and catching air moving through it. I don't know. But we've got air and we've got water magic. Okay, so I'm just getting balance, this balancing. So yes, balance is important. And then look, sunflower power. This is giving me very much that Queen of Wands abundance, reflecting back at her because of the abundance that she's holding within. Okay, inner knowing, inner being, inner authentic, shining and truth speaking. Okay, so I mean, the time shift is happening. We are surrendering to the process of transformation and receiving of abundance by maintaining authentic beingness, which fuels the ships to come in fast and gorgeous. Okay, and this process of preparation and release, the things, the residuals, the old ways. Gorgeous. 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 Okay. Love it. Love you. Wishing you all of the good things in the world, in your life. Trust it. Feel into it. Act as if. Be excited. Be grateful. And continue being gorgeous. Okay. Love you. Appreciate you. See you next time.